Hey there, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another episode of The New Normal. I'm Jason Ruff, voice of the Jackalopes. Pleasure to be joined by Justin Slaughter of Lithia Toyota. Justin, I hope you've been doing well. And
Yes.
thanks again for joining us on such a busy day. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us.
Hey, no problem, Jason. Glad to be on.
So, Justin, now that Texas is in the midst of the reopening that we've had going on for the last couple of weeks now as we get deeper on into May, what has that reopening process looked like for you and your staff at Lithia Toyota?
Just making sure to keep everyone at the dealership safe, for the employees and the customers. We've done some deep sanitation of the entire dealership, but also bought some really expensive, chemicals and an antimicrobial that we put over the entire dealership, and just a lot of extra precaution more than anything.
And so what protocols are in place to help encourage social distancing at a car dealership? I would think on the lot that's not too hard to do. Maybe in the showroom, maybe a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, we've got signs up everywhere. We also have markings on, around the dealership to let people know to stay at a certain distance. And we also have the plexiglass shields in between where the customers are doing business and the salespeople, the finance managers, the service advisors, the parts people, the cashiers, everyone where a customer can do business has a clear shield in space. And we've kept it 6 feet away so everybody, feels safe and that we're keeping the right distance.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's getting those plexiglass shields nowadays. Gotta buy stock in plexiglass, I guess, maybe, huh?
Absolutely. Those guys are definitely not slowing down.
So how has the reception been towards your dealership now that things are beginning to reopen?
It's been good. Traffic has picked up, more and more people are coming in. And I think the biggest thing that we're really doing right now is it's not really focusing on selling cars. It's helping people with their car situation. Whether people are needing to stay on the road and get their car serviced so it'll keep running, because of the economic situation, they may need to keep their car a little bit longer now than they had originally planned. So we're doing everything we can to do that. And then in addition, right now, the programs we have, we're helping people defer payments with the banks for people that have been out of work. In addition, the manufacturer will come out with some really good programs to help the customers get into something else and defer their payment for 90 days. And our customers that have, equity in their vehicles, we're able to also trade them in, lower their payment, and give them some of their equity cash back to put a little bit of money in the bank to help them too.
That sounds great, and that kind of leads into my next question of how Lithia Toyota has been helping prospective customers in these stressful financial times. You obviously went into it a little bit more. Could you go into maybe into a little bit more detail on what, say, if I'm a prospective car buyer and money's a little bit tight, what kind of programs is Lithia Toyota offering in addition to the ones you just mentioned?
The biggest one's a payment deferral, being able to extend the first payment out to 90 days, which is really nice. Most of the banks and lenders that we work with are also making some big exceptions for customers right now because, they're trying to help their customers out. And they know if we can help maybe defer some payments right now, help them maybe stretch on an approval with the bank that maybe not make the most financial sense, but to be able to help the customer out and get them out of something that they can't afford, get them into a lower payment, help restructure some things, maybe trade 2 cars in for 1 car and work with the banks to maybe, stretch out a little bit to help them get the payment they need to fit their budget. And the other things that we're doing too is we have, special rates, special rebates, special programs, to help the customers get, exactly where they need to be so they're comfortable, so they can, keep their car without, losing it because they can't afford the payment.
Right. And you mentioned how you've been working with the banks. How important is that relationship between a car dealership and the lenders that you work with to get together and get those kinds of programs to help people out? Because I think that's some kind of an aspect of a car dealership that not a lot of people think about, at least on the first step.
Yeah, it's your relationship with the banks is one of the most important things, and being a Toyota dealer, Toyota Financial being one of the top financial lenders in the entire country, we have a great relationship with them. And when you have good relationships with your banks, they're going to do things for you and work harder to help you get the approvals and to help your customers out and do the things I said, like, stretching on some approvals and, understanding that the times that we're going through and really just trying to um, help people out. So like I said, the most important thing for people right now is being able to keep their car, and also have a payment they can afford, and maybe give them a little bit of relief until they get back on their feet so they can get going again.
Right. So, and what are some of the challenges being faced by dealerships all over Odessa, not just yours, as a result of this COVID-19 pandemic? And how have you been able to overcome those challenges?
A lot of the challenges that we have, within a car dealership is, trying to stay open, trying to be able to, provide the services that we provide. Try to keep as many employees as we can here at the dealership. And, the main thing is keep the dealership open. As you can see right now, not only here, but all across the country, there's been a lot of businesses that may not make it out of this. People that haven't gone back to work in places that aren't going to open up. And that's some of the challenges that we face is, doing enough where we can not only stay open, but in addition to that, having the right amount of inventory levels, to be able to help customers because, our factories have been closed down, so as of right now, we're doing really well. But when you close the factories down that make the cars for a couple months, you're going to see a shortage of vehicles, toward the probably July, August. It's going to be hard to find a new vehicle because when you shut the factory down for that long, it's going to put a big kink in the supply chain down the road.
So I've always been very curious about this, having lived in Odessa now the last couple of years, couple of seasons. I'm always very curious about this. What's been the most popular car on your lot here the last couple of months?
And probably the most popular thing that we sell right now would probably be the Toyota RAV4. It's our small to mid-size SUV, gets good gas mileage, sits up off the ground, and it's actually the number one selling vehicle that Toyota makes now is a RAV4, small to mid-size SUV.
Hey, gotta love those SUVs, man. And Justin, last question now before I let you go. How important do you think is it for businesses, especially businesses in the community, to rally around not only the community but also the people, the sports teams, everyone, and kind of embrace and help everyone transition into this new normal and confront it with a united front?
Yeah, I think it's very important for everyone out here to try to help and support each other. I've grown up out here in West Texas, almost the last 40 years. And one thing that I can say about the people out here in our area is we're tough. We, with the oil field and the ups and downs that we've had, we have a good history and a track record of being able to support people when they're down, whether oil's, $8 or $180. No matter what goes on out here, we've got a lot of great people out here that really respond well to the community, doing everything that we can do to help people out. One of the things I forgot to say that we're doing now is, we purchased a lot of, high hospital grade disinfectant, and we're disinfecting cars for free here at the dealership. You just drive up, we'll pull out, we'll disinfect your car for free, doing whatever we can do to help, keep people safe and, to give a little bit back to the community. And just to do our part to support everyone, the best that we can.
Justin, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for everything you do and all of your staff members do for our community. And we look forward to seeing you at the Ector County Coliseum really soon when hockey season gets set up.
Can't wait. Thanks, Jason.